being hurt for 2 games.
Here we go. We live. We are live. Week 5. We are live for week 5.
Coach football has done it again. Had some great matchups and some lopsided wins.
Yes.
Bad losses too.
I'm trying to share the stream. We'll see if some people come in. If it's on my Facebook page. Oh, there it is. So there's the on Facebook. Let me get it on Twitter, on X, where we go run over the scores here. Oh my goodness, 14-13. I was waiting for that score. So Resurrection won 14-13. I just don't know why they don't post their scores. So 14-13, Resurrection wins. You guys joining us live. We gaining some followers. I dropped the controller here. All right. Let me see. We're going to go over some finals as we have Jason here with me co-hosting right now. We'll have James Spann, the second, come on. He's from Moss Point. Some finals. What a great night. Any night when there's football is a great night. And, I mean, I'll go over some finals and save one score for last if you don't know about it. St. Stanislaus defeats Mobile Christian 28-25. I got that pick wrong. Resurrection, as we just got in the final score, wins 14-13. That's semi-surprise. I know Resurrection, again, starting if they're still starting, they're 8th grader, which is kind of rare, but they win at St. Patrick. I got an update on Facebook. Quitman over Stone 20-19. That was a crazy game there. I had Quitman winning, but and Stone had a chance to win it as times expired and missed about a 38-yard field goal. They missed that. West Harrison all over Moss Point 48-13. Petal took out Long Beach 52-14. St. Martin on the road, they had that losing streak, defeats East Central. I just can't figure these teams out right now, but they
were losing. They were losing at halftime 7-0.
Well, I had the halftime score. It was 7-0 East Central. They got shut out in the second half. It was 15-7. St. Martin defeats East Central. So that was, and I had East Central
winning close game, but they won
by 6 points. I had East Central winning by 6. They lose by 8. And then we move on. Mendenhall, they beat Harrison Central. I had Harrison Central winning. Harrison Central was leading 7-0 at halftime. Mendenhall wins 24-21 over Harrison Central. In the top 10, which we'll circle back around to your game there in Vancleave, but I will say Vancleave did win at Hancock 35-17. I had that one. The other 10th ranked team, Pass Christian, there was a tie. They lost. Pass Christian lost to Northeast Jones. That was 20. Where we at? It was a 35-28. So Pass Christian loses that one to Northeast Jones. George County wins up at Wayne County just for the first time and for back-to-back seasons. Again, they've only won twice in the 17 games, one of them being last year, and then they win tonight. I had them losing. Deuce wasn't playing. They did what they did to win 20-13. George County wins there. 5th-ranked Pascagoula. I was watching that game. Turnover early for Pascagoula went down and scored, and Biloxi turned the ball over, and then it was all Pascagoula. I'm shocked. I'm not somewhat shocked. I mean, I contradict myself when I say Pascagoula is the real deal. I've told you that. I said they're good offense and defense. I know they lost Parnell, unfortunately, last week to injury. But I say they're the real deal, and I've said that. Then why am I picking Biloxi to beat them in Pascagoula? I was thinking something with Biloxi. They were going to get going in 3 points. Is Biloxi that? It has to be. Biloxi has not put up any points this year except for George County. I know it's all non-region games, and they did bring another quarterback in late in the game, but Pascagoula is off next week, and Pascagoula is the team. I mean, they're the real deal. I will not bet against them. I will not pick against them. in 2 weeks when they start region play. But Pascagoula 44-3 over Biloxi. Number 3rd ranked Picayune at 3-2 now beats Ocean Springs 38-35. Ocean Springs had that lead. Yes, they had a 14-10 lead at halftime. We were trying to get Jeremy forehand on. He's at Waffle House right now with some scattered and some other stuff, so maybe he'll join us with that. And I say Jeremy forehand, he's with D'Iberville, but he was there calling the game, and I would get Shep on if I had his number. If he wants to come on, he's the play-by-play guy with Ocean Springs. I'd get him on, but Jeremy's at Waffle House. He may or may not join us, but Ocean Springs had a chance at the end of the game to stop them on a 4th down. They couldn't do it, and they ended up winning. Picayune won at Ocean Springs. Poplarville was a surprise score there. They did lose to West Jones, who's 5-0. And we got Bingo in here. I looked up and there's Bingo. So West Jones beats Poplarville 10-7. So that was a close. I mean, that was a crazy game there. 10-7. West Jones against Poplarville, who's missing some key players. So that was a somewhat surprise score. Not necessarily surprised West Jones won, but where Poplarville was right there. And I know some fans were saying, that they had their chances. I think had a block punt. I'm not sure. I didn't get to see that game. And Brandon, again, we talked about it, 4-1 on the season now, 42-0 at number 1 ranked Gulfport, coming off that win at Picayune, and they come home and lay a goose egg, and it is disappointing in that. I know it's non-region, and like I told Bingo earlier, if Gulfport loses this game and they come back in the playoffs and they beat them in the playoffs, whoever they play, be it Brandon, Madison Central, I'm fine with that. But Jason, to lose 42-0, as we were just talking before we were coming on, to have a shutout at home, that's not, I don't know what you think about that with the Admirals.
I mean, I was talking with Donnie Moran over there at Hancock. He was calling the game, and we were talking about that. And I was telling him, I was like, man, if Gulfport goes into this Brandon game, and even if they don't win, they go out here and they play them hard going in the district. I mean, they could run away with district easily, and to lose a game like that, it's one thing to lose, another thing to be shut out and just be dominated. And
yes.
That's tough. That's a tough deal. Was that their homecoming by any chance?
That was no. I want to say it was not their homecoming.
I wouldn't think that they would schedule Brandon for their homecoming.
Well, you wouldn't think Ocean Springs would schedule Picayune for their homecoming, but that's the way it falls there. One score that I left out, which Statman, overall for the night, I didn't go 500. I went above. I went 8-7, which I've only been 500 twice in the last 3 years. So it was a rough night tonight, losing the 5 games. Again, there were some borderline games, but the one game that I predicted, that I said they were going to get their win, that they were going to stop their streak, and that was PRC winning at Bay High. They won 56-35. So Bay High, Coach Feaster, there, his first win at PRC. And I tagged him on X. I tagged him in it. And what a great win for PRC there to get there to stop the 17-game losing streak. That's the longest. It was the longest active losing streak. It's not the longest on the coast. They have several teams in the 20s. So, but a nice win for PRC to get that win on the road. As not to reach around and pat myself on the back, but I said, Long Beach was going to stop their streak this year at the beginning of the season. They did. And just felt something about PRC. They've been playing good, and now they got 2 weeks to rest up. Yeah, I did do St. Martin. St. Martin stopped their streak. I had them against Van Cleve. So, but I am kind of slightly disappointed with an 8-7 record. I dropped down to 69%. Next 68%. Next week is region play, so I'll keep that record separate. It still have an overall record, but then I keep region play games separate. I'm 77% in the previous 8 seasons. And region games are a little bit more easier to predict, somewhat still, than regular games. So we're going to swing back around to your game, Jason. I know you were at, and I was able to watch some of it finally on YouTube. And Van Cleve, who's on a roll, 3-0 now, and they ranked 10th coming up, and I had Van Cleve winning by 11 points. I know I heard, Aaron Underwood on there saying I was looking like a genius at Matt Stats was because they were winning 28-17 until you guys just pulled away with another touchdown. You were winning 14-3 at halftime, and then 35-17 was the final for your Bulldogs. I mean, what do you got to say? I did see a couple plays. I saw that slant pattern there at the end when I don't know who that player was, but he had some jets on him.
Martin Shaw, big night. Martin Shaw had a huge night tonight. They had 3 catches over 100 yards, 2 touchdowns. He had a play over the middle, caught it. People were at his ankles, and just that speed that he's always had. He kicked it in gear. You're our team All-State baseball player, and you can run like he does. You have the ability. I mean, he's always been there. Just it's finally getting food. He's showing him, hey, I got it. And so he hit big night. Dale Moore came back. He's senior wide receiver. He had the broken hand. He had several catches tonight. They threw it to Christian. They got Christian out there in quite a few pass plays. He had a nice catch over the middle. And then you had Hunter Harper had over 100 yards tonight. Kyle Capers got I think he got hit second quarter. And so got a short, but just
you must be going through a bad area. You sounded like Charlie Brown's teacher. And there he goes. But that was Jason. He's traveling back from Hancock back to Van Cleve, and Van Cleve again with a nice win. Then they're off next week, and then region play begins there as bingo comes on, and that's who Van Cleve will host. Gaucher, who was off this week in 2 weeks as the first region game. So a nice win there. I don't know how much you caught of any. What's that?
We're gonna humble Jason Phillips for one. He's doing all this hoopla album stuff. So he coming to I think we're going to Gaucher going to them, or they coming.
You're going to Big 5-7. I don't know. I don't know if they have a name for their like the swamp. I know they're Big 5-7, but I don't know. That's where you guys are going. I was just looking up. You guys have won 11 straight against the Bulldogs, so I don't know. They may be due, but no, I would right now if I had to pick. Obviously, I would lean toward Gaucher just because of their offense and defense, and so
you got sense.
So, yeah, but I don't have sense in what I picked tonight, going 8-7. I didn't, I'm not picking against Pascagoula again. They just Biloxi just is. I don't know. Oh, you so I could thank you. I should ask you before I make my picks on who I'm up.
Right, should.
But I lost, the Ocean Springs. My initial pick was Picayune. Not that I went with Ocean Springs. My initial pick was Picayune, and it was some plays in that game, had some turnovers and penalties by the Greyhounds, and they had a chance at the end to stop them on a 4th down to get the ball back. Trailed it by 3, and they lost by 3. So, that's what. So what happened with George County? I mean, I saw a play at the end that I guess they had the ball and was throwing it to the front of the end zone. That was Wayne County, and they intercepted the ball. So who was there? Who was quarterbacking for most of the game, or what happened? As Bingo's driving back from George County. You in and out, Bingo.
I'm driving back from Wayne County.
Wayne County, what I say? Yes, Wayne County. Yes.
Yeah, Boz. I just sent the link to Boz. He finna come on.
Okay, I see 2 guests in the. Let me see. I don't know. I asked James to come on. James Spann from Moss Point. He said he was going to come on. I don't know who's in the lobby there. But if it's Boz, we can, let him come on there. So let me see who's at James Brown. Of course, Poplarville. I told you they lost 10-7 against West Jones. That was a surprise score, figuring West Jones was really going to put it on Poplarville at home. But where 4th down, a short conversion negated by penalty. Yeah, penalties do happen in the block punt. So Poplarville takes the loss there, 10-7, but a great, closer score than what I thought it would be. And Poplarville, I believe, is one of the. There's 9 teams off next week, and no, Poplarville travels to Moss Point, so in their first region game next week, Poplarville at Moss Point. So tough loss there for Poplarville, so close, and they fell by 3. So now I got 3 people in the green room. There's James Fan. There he is. I know. I see people popping up in there, and we lost Jason to a bad. So how you doing, James? What's happening?
I'm doing well. I just lost the homecoming game tonight, but just went by through the tailgate tonight. So my spirits have been lifted a little bit. So
yes, you were going. I did see your picks. I don't know what did you do on your picks. You know,
I think I did pretty well.
Yeah,
I think
you did. I mean, I don't know exactly what you did, but I know you picked Pascagoula, and I don't know why. That's what I was telling Jason, that I said Pascagoula is the real deal, but yet I pick against them because I said I like both sides of the ball for Pascagoula, and Biloxi just fell flat. 3 points from Biloxi. That was not good. So I did go 8-7. I did say, that because I pick all the games. I know a lot of people don't. That's understandable. But with PRC winning, stopping their losing streak there. So what happened with it was at halftime. Man, I have a 48-6. It was at halftime against West Harrison. I mean, I know they got some workhorses there, but how was it there at at Moss Point? I saw the news. They were there, the tailgating. I mean, was it crowd? I mean, the fans showed up.
Yeah, it was a good crowd. It was a packed stands, but things just kind of got out of hand from the jump. Moss Point did start off on a strong note, but kind of got out of hand. Run attack as West Harrison has, and I've known them to add, showed up tonight and kind of just took away just took the whole team down, just changed the whole atmosphere. So it just took all over the game. So,
man, that is. And Moss Point, as we just mentioned, starts region play next week as they host Poplarville. I know that's a tough matchup. Again, you guys, have 5 teams in your region: Poplarville, Bay, Pass Christine, and Greene County. You just need to win one of those games to make the playoffs. I mean, they don't get a bye week until the last week on Halloween when everybody else is playing. How do you think the chances are with Moss Point? I mean, do you see some kind of improvement every week, or what do you see with Moss Point?
You did see some improvement last week, but I tell people all the time, you see improvement, but you want to see consistency. Teams they're not gonna pick you unless you see consistency, and that's where we're lacking it. And not playing full ball games. You have to play all 4 if you want to win them. And just hasn't just shown it, consistent throughout the whole season. So I think that's what we're lacking it currently right now.
I think from the
I
last
know.
from me watching Moss Point last week against Gaucher, like they are decent. They are a good team.
Yeah.
Like they got to learn how to stay into the game. Like they was getting the play calling was hitting. They was getting all in the red zone, but they just wasn't punching it in. Like they'll mess it up, a fumble or interception or something like that or whatever in the red zone. And you and I both know you can't get in the red zone and not leave empty handed. So
Yes, and Moss Point, again, before last year, they didn't make the playoffs, but they made the playoffs 11 straight years before that. So, I mean, they are making the playoffs. In fact, in 22 and 21, they won a playoff game. So, again, I know with no excuses per se. I know they don't have a lot of players, the amount of players, and then, their head coach, just came in, as we talked about before, late in the spring or so to get his team going and ready. So, again, they just got to win one of those games to make it to the playoffs, and that would change the whole season. Moss Point, of course, following all the teams, Moss Point has done it many of years where they schedule these hard games in the non-region, then come, for the region games, they win, and all of a sudden, again, they're in the second round of the playoffs in 21 and 22. So, in fact, 3 of the last 4 years. So, it was a tough loss tonight. They did lose 48-13. They will host Poplarville next week, and I'm sure that's where you'll be covering that game.
Yeah, most likely I'll be in Moss next week. Yeah.
Yep, started the season with 3 straight road games and now 3 straight home games, and that was their first home game tonight. So, but where can we find you at on there? I see on your Twitter there, X there is, what is it, JD2 Talk?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, I'll look for your. I know Moss Point. We'll be playing next year. I'll look for your picks. I'll search them out and see who you go with on there. My picks will be out already. Of course, I don't let nobody else influence. The people who pick just pick. So I'll have to see, and hopefully I can improve on my 8-7 this week after a 10-5 record and starting off so hot. But these non-region games, you just don't know. Coaches do some things and. It is it. But I certainly appreciate you joining us, James. We're going to bring in our next person, and good luck to Moss Point. Hopefully they'll make it to the playoffs.
Yes, I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Yes, sir. That's James Spann the second from Moss Point. Who else do we have? Bingo. We got Jason Brown's asking about the Stone score. Stone lost at Quitman 20-19 there as Stone had a chance as time expired to kick. I wrote down a 38-yard field goal. It might have been a little bit shorter, but in the 30s, they missed a field goal to beat Quitman. So Stone loses 20-19 to Quitman. And Stone, their first home game will be next week, as Stone should host St. Stanislaus. They host St. Stanislaus. So, who else do we have in the guest?
That's it. Yeah, that boss said something about his stuff lagging, so we ain't really worried about it.
Oh, well, I can go over the scores. I can go over. I already went over. I was 8-7. That wasn't the greatest. We can go over the top. Where's my top 10 results here that I just posted on X. So top 10 results. We had again a tie for 10th, and that was Pass Christian lost, Van Cleve won, and we have George County 9th ranked. They did win, a nice road win there. Ocean Springs loses to 3rd ranked Picayune. 7th ranked Biloxi loses to Pascagoula, who's 5th ranked. The Iberville was off, 5th ranked won in Pascagoula, as just mentioned, over Biloxi. Gaucher was off, 3rd ranked. Picayune won. 2nd and 1st loss, Poplarville and Gulfport. We'll see. The strength of schedule always plays a factor, and really the score, how much you win by, how much you lose by. And
I know tonight was the first time ever George County defeated Wayne County in Wayne County.
Yes, so I'll make the stat that on tomorrow, as I just had it up here. So that's one of the things that I'll go over tonight and see who's hot and who's cold, and again, stat that. So a great win for George County.
Without Deuce.
Yeah, without Deuce. Did Moody play quarterback?
He did a little Taysom Hill type thing. They'll bring him in on a, but defense is already knowing he wasn't going to do nothing, man. Wyatt Stovall played tonight at quarterback and got the win. He did what he's supposed to do. You go in and don't make no mistakes and just, play the game that the coaches call. He leaned heavy on his running game. Brandon Gaucher carried the ball, I think, like 20 times for like 100 and some yards and 2 rushing touchdowns. The defense played big. Cole Bradley had an interception. Mark Harvey had a strip sack fumble that he took back for like 80 yards for a touchdown. And Casey Little ended the game with a game-saving interception with like 4 seconds left, 20-13, with them 5 on the goal line. Like it was a good game. It was a pretty good game. It was a defensive game.
Besides maybe the music they were playing, did they change up the music?
Oh, horrible. Man, I'm telling you, I can't stand Wayne County, man. Every time I go up there, there's always something, man. They administration, they always got something. I guess because they always got some stuff going on up there. But whoever the administration was, man, they always got rules. For one, you can't bring no bags in there. All right, you can't bring no bag in there. I have student reporters, the interns and stuff. They weren't allowed to be on, like, they couldn't follow me to go do the things that I need them to do because Wayne County administration was like, they're not allowed there. I guess when you know what I'm saying, when you whooping somebody up, you're not allowed to do a lot of things. But yeah, man, Wayne County is a horrible community, and I tell them to their face.
Well, I don't. You said that.
Horrible.
I don't. I mean,
I
I
said
just
it.
heard
I
the new.
stand on everything I say. They is a
I understand.
horrible community, man. Terrible. They
Wow.
stadium ugly. They ain't nothing but a fake Auburn. And that's why October 18th, Goshen gonna put built ass.
I hope Gaucher does win, but I don't want to paint him with a wide
I'm
brush there
picking
for
on
him.
them. I'm picking on them. I'm picking
So,
on them.
but yes, Wayne County, they're not the same Wayne County as it has been over the last several years. And for George County to go in there without their starting quarterback or the best quarterback in the state, if not the nation, is saying something there. The heart and soul for Coach Ray and company to get the win there. Next week, George County is
Got a
are they
tough one.
off? Oh
They got a
no.
tough one that
Oh,
week,
they're on the
boy.
road at Hattiesburg,
Yeah, but they
and I
next
don't.
three games tonight,
Yes, are on
next
the.
week, and they were all three straight road games.
Yes, so I think, and I don't think Deuce will play there. I mean, I don't know. He may. We'll see. He's always a game time decision, just due to that injury there. So, who's that? Randy is telling me, God.
Yeah,
So,
man. I'm gonna tell it like it is, man. Like it's just real, man. Like these folks they just weird up there, man. I don't know what it is, man. I think I don't know. I guess because they live in Wayne County. I guess that's what it is, man. It ain't my fault.
yeah. Well, like I say, and he's talking about Pascagoula there with Pascagoula, a great win there against Biloxi. I mean, they just did it to them with that. Allowed them 3 points, with Biloxi in that first quarter. And that was it. That was it for the Indians. So the Indians will be off again. 9 teams off next week in Gulfport, Ocean Springs, Biloxi, St. Martin, PRC,
They
Pascagoula,
all
West
need it.
Harrison,
Ooh,
East Central, and Bankley.
Ocean Spring need they bye week. Gulfport need they bye week. Who else got a bye week next week?
There's 9 of them. You got Biloxi needs their bye week.
Yeah, they need it. Ooh, boy.
East Central, did I say East Central? Yes, East Central, which I thought they were going to beat St. Martin, but give it to St. Martin. That's their first
I told you. Yeah, I told you
road
St. Martin
win.
gonna get him, man. Hey,
You know,
St. Martin rolling, but what they here like 3-1 now, something like
no,
that.
don't get all excited like that. Don't, no. They're
No,
not
I'm saying like
3-1.
what their ranking is? They're like 2-2 or 3-1.
Now they're 3-2. That was their first. They were had a 12-game losing streak on the road, and they snapped that. So that was good there for St. Martin.
Check them out. Coach Ty Smith got the ball rolling. I love it, man. Hey, man, nobody don't want to go 0 for 11 or 0 for 12, whatever they did. Like, don't nobody want to do that, boy.
And Picayune gets their 17th straight regular season road win. So I mean that's their first win of the season. I mean first game on the road this season. That's their 17th straight regular season road win. So Picayune there on a roll. And again, I told you beforehand, I mentioned it, and we could have got Coach Feaster on there, but with PRC, I actually was able to watch that game, and there were some great passes there by the quarterback. I think it may have been his son. I couldn't hear. I just saw the players, but there was some great play there by PRC, and it wasn't like they squeaked it out. I mean, they put it on Bay High. 56-35. PRC stops the 17-game losing streak. So,
Coach Feaster got him one.
Yeah, so nice win there. They have a week off, and then they will go on the road to Terry, I want to say, and that's really a playoff game because they have 5 teams in the division. I shouldn't say they're not going to beat the other teams. The other teams are Hattiesburg, West Jones, who's all undefeated. So for them to beat one of them, but Terry is the best shot. If they win that game, they'll be in the playoffs. So they got 2 weeks to prepare for. That is PRC. I'll just look in here as at Forest Hill. So because you have Hattiesburg 4-0 coming in. I don't know if they were off, but then you had Terry who's 4-0 and West Jones 4-0 heading tonight. We know West Jones won. I'm not sure what Hattiesburg did as they played at Summerall. And so, but yes, George County will have their hands full going to Hattiesburg next week. So that is that there. So,
Cool.
we talked about West Harrison, Moss Point, Resurrection beating St. Patrick 14-13. Rocket Charles getting the win at home. I had them losing to Mobile Christian, the defending state champions there. So give it to the Rocket Charles 28-25. Their win there. Minden Harrison Central. I don't know. Of course, not watching it, already, but they lost to Mendenhall. So 24-21. So we shall see what Harrison Central does in region play. See what Biloxi does. If they can get the ship righted there. Their offense is somewhat struggling.
We need region play, boy.
Yes, they have region play next week. 4A,
Yeah.
they have Poplarville at Moss Point, Greene County at Pass Christian, 3A, St. Patrick at Perry Central. Talking about a playoff game, that's the best game that St. Patrick has a chance to win is Perry Central. I don't think it happens. I hope it does, but that's one of those 5 teams in the region. 4 make the playoffs. And then Salem at Resurrection, 1A Region 8 playoff region games. So 4A, 3A, and 1A start region play next week. There's Boz.
What's going on?
I'm sick of that, man. I'm sick of Matt. I'm sick of him. He getting on my nerve like Wayne County, man. I'm sick of him.
Boz is not in a good mood after what happened with Gulfport. After I thought
Boz's fault.
It is. He didn't go to the game. Is that what it was?
Oh, he was there. He could have missed that.
I went to it. Man, I see why Brandon's the number 1 team.
Yeah, that's why I switched my pick. I mean, I know Gulfport. I felt good about Gulfport, and I think they're going to win the region still. I think they're going to win the region over.
I agree.
But I just said, well, Brandon. I watched some more tape. I said Brandon just has that extra gear, so I switched my pick before I made it official. And I mean, lucky I did. I still hope Gulfport will win, but I watched some of the game, but I mean, it was what happened there. I mean, they got shut out.
Turnovers, man, killed Gulfport. And you can't turn over against another elite team. I mean, you just can't do it. So,
you know how many turnovers they
5.
had?
I think it was 5 turnovers.
Oh my goodness!
They scored off each one of them. So,
and
you know how that go.
And they got 2 weeks to think about it because they're off next week. And Coach Pinnock, I mean, again, I told Bingo beforehand. I said, hey, if they're going to lose this game, then you need to come back in the playoffs and beat one of those North teams, be it Madison, be it Brandon, be it Oak Grove. You know, it'll make up for this loss. But it is kind of shocking to get shut out like that. I had a little bit closer game, so.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah, it was ugly there, boy. Ooh.
What about I didn't catch the George County game. Bingo, what happened? I don't know if
they
I talked about it already.
Yeah, they stood on business today. They won with a 20-string quarterback.
20-string. Who played quarterback tonight?
Some kid we found in the CCTI building, man. We seen him throwing rocks, and we were like, hey, that kid got an arm, man. And we were like, hey, you want to play quarterback this weekend against Wayne County? And he was like, I don't care. Why not? His name Wyatt Stovall. So Wyatt, shout out to Wyatt. I'm gonna do his interview. We'll drop his interview tonight, post-game interview.
Okay.
First start. And he beat Wayne County in Wayne County for the first time in school history.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
Yeah. That was their 3rd win against Wayne County. They won last year in overtime. So, yeah, the first time they won at Wayne County. They won 2 games against them at home, including last year. And the other one was like 1900 or something. No, it wasn't 1900. It was
1991.
Yep, 1991. So their 3rd win.
I know this for history like I've been going to school there, man.
Matt, I want to ask you a quick question. When was the last time Gulfport beat Brandon? Give me a year.
Oh, I can, because I brought up
1999, South State.
Yes, sir. Yep, that's when it was.
Well, see, I have to look it up.
1999 was
in fact, they won. In fact, they won.
My name is Bingo. My name Bingo Stats Jr.
In fact, they won the year before that. They won the year before that, Boz, at Brandon 27-25 in the first round of the playoffs. And then now it's 3, 4, 5, 6 straight losses to Brandon, and these last 3 are non-playoffs. All the other ones were playoffs except for that first year. But Gulfport, again, have 2 weeks, and they travel to Biloxi, as it used to be the last game of the year. A couple years ago, they switched it up, and now it's the first game. And my initial pick would be, after seeing Biloxi, even though even Gulfport got shut out, right now, if they were playing tonight, I would pick Gulfport over Biloxi. I'm gonna have to do some research because both teams will have off. Most of the I'll say 6A, 7A is off, except for D'Iberville, who comes back and plays. They host Wayne County for homecoming, and then Harrison Central at Meridian and Hancock at Florence. So those 3 teams are playing. I'm sorry, why I say Hancock? They're not 7A. I'm sorry. So yes, Gulfport is off. Ocean Springs is off. St. Martin is off. So all the big schools are pretty much off except for D'Iberville and Harrison Central. So, but right now I would say Gulfport would beat Biloxi come in 2 weeks on 10-11 in Biloxi. But we'll see what the stats look like when it gets closer. So, yeah, not a great win there for golf. Not a great game for Gulfport to put up nothing and turn the ball over that many times. That is there, but
it was crazy, man. It was just. Go ahead.
When I seen that score, I thought it was a typo. When I seen that score, I thought it was a typo.
I think it was crazy watching the game and just seeing Gulfport play better. I've seen them play better, and it was just like you just can't turn the ball over like that. That's what I took away from the game. You just can't. Not to a good team like Brandon, you're going to lose like that.
Correct. That is. Brandon, they're second in the state according to Max Prep. So and it showed it there. So yeah, it was disappointing there. So
I think what hurt the most for me was when they got it's 35-0. When you go up 35, the clock runs, and it was just like weird watching it. Like the clock, that game was over at 9.
That was the first game over, and Jeremy, I was listening to Ocean Springs broadcast, and Jeremy Forehand, who was helping out Shep there at Ocean Springs broadcast. Of course, he is D'Iberville, and he may be in the guest room. I invited him. He is at Waffle House, but Jeremy said he said something where he wouldn't have thought that Gulfport was the first game to get done tonight on a running clock. That would have been the last game you thought was at.
Yeah, that game was over early. That's what I'm saying. I looked down, it was the start of the 4th quarter, and Gulfport game was over. And I was like, what did I miss? Did they have an early start time or something? Like, what happened, man?
Yeah, and it was 21-0 at halftime. And so as far as the rankings, the top 10 rankings are ranked number 1 as far as I'm one of the voters. So just because what I say doesn't mean it's going to happen, but I would say they're not going to be. And now, if they would have maybe lost, 30-27 or something like that. So,
42-14 or something like that. I would take that.
So they're going to be in the top 10. They're still a good team. They're still a very good team. But that just kind of, I don't know. Let's say lost for words as far as again the big schools, 7A schools. Ocean Springs, Gulfport losing to. Madison and Oak Grove and now Brandon.
We have this conversation every year about getting past, north of 49, and I really be trying to figure out what is it. I still can't put my finger on it. It's just like I
We
don't
got
know.
too many high schools. That's what the problem is. Too many schools.
When you say that could be some truth to it, because when you think about the Pine Belt area, you got Hattiesburg, Petal, and then Oak Grove, and I know you got Laurel,
West Jones, South Jones.
South Jones, Collins. Is Collins considered Pine Belt?
Yeah, it's up there.
Yeah,
It's by Macomb, ain't it?
Yeah. It's probably like an hour outside of Macomb. So,
but go back to what you said. That's under 10 schools compared to our 24.
So, all right. So if you could realign it, this is something I'll always want to talk about. Like if you could realign, because see, like how George County always have
They just
athletes.
George County. They just George County.
Yeah,
They
it's
got
just
one
George
school.
County. Can you
That's what we need to.
think about? Can you think about
Jackson
Jackson
County.
County?
Oh
Oh
my
my
God.
God!
Harrison County, Stone
Harrison County, Jackson.
County.
The games would be
Oh my goodness.
crazy. So
It
you mean
will.
to say Mars Point, Gula, and Gaucher will be, and then we got you got Van Cleve and
East Central,
East Central
Ocean
and
Springs,
Ocean
St.
Springs all
Martin,
as one school.
Resurrection.
You couldn't do that. You couldn't do
Yeah.
that though.
It's
You
eight.
couldn't
It's
do it.
eight. Think about it. It's 8 schools in little old Jackson County alone. 8 high schools. Why we need that many schools over there, man? Because we already, Goshen and Pascagoula already realized we should have never split. We'd have all kind of gold balls between now and 1997. Between now, man, we'll have so many gold balls right now. I ain't gonna say so many. We'll have
But
more
you
than
would
what
always
either
be in
one of us
content,
got
like
now.
you would be in contention. Like you would have to say if it was staged as Pascagoula, it would be like Pascagoula team to beat. Like like how Moss Point was in those years. Like I don't know, man. It could be. There's too many schools,
So
but then
that's a
that's the
problem
beauty
with
of the
Moss
coast. But
Points
that's the
too.
beauty of the coast. That's the beauty of the coast, though, that we
What's
have
the
so many
beauty about it?
schools. Because we have so many
That's
schools.
that's too many schools, man.
It's like a catch
Van
22
Van
situation, man.
Cleve, Van Cleve can come right on down there to Ocean Springs, Goshen or whatever, and
But how
we got
far
some.
is it though, Bingo? How far is East
That's
Central? Because
15 minutes.
East Central really
What you
closer to
mean? East
East
Central
Central.
5 minutes from Van Cleve. You go down Wade Road, man, right there.
Yeah, you right. You right. Hurley not that far.
It's not none of Jackson County. I can drive around it. I can go to all 8 schools. If I start at 8 o'clock, I could be done made my rounds to all 8 schools in Jackson County and be done by lunchtime. That's how it's small. The coast is small when you look at it in retrospect,
It
man.
is.
It's small.
It
Why
is
we
small.
got 5 high schools within a 10-mile radius, man.
I guess, man. I'm gonna say this because on the educational side, it'd be like you don't want overcrowded classrooms. I know that definitely
And we
that'll
need
be a
new schools anyway. All these old schools around here, man. But they lucky that hurricane
I was
shifted right.
no
You got
what happened?
school, Mall Point School leaking in the inside, man. We need school. People need new
Man,
schools. So just get rid of these schools. Send them babies over there to the swamp. You know what I'm saying?
and what campaigning over there? Get them over to the
Yeah.
swamp,
I
man.
think
Yeah,
bingo stats.
bingo stats.
Yeah,
Man,
yeah.
what games we got next week? Because I mean, I want to try to pick me a game to go to.
Next week you got George County at Hattiesburg. Yeah, Picayune goes to Petal. Petal's, again they're playing like the fourth coast team, but Picayune at Petal. You got Wayne County at D'Iberville, Harrison Central at Meridian, Hancock at Florence, Long Beach at South Jones. All these teams playing away. Columbia come into play in the swamp with their 14-game home winning streak.
I might have to go to
Built that. I'll be ready. Built that.
Yeah, Columbia was dancing, and I saw that video you shared.
Yeah.
It being,
I didn't like
let
that.
them come dance.
Yeah, please don't let them boys come in our house dancing like that. Hey, look, we trying to go for the 3-peat, man. We ain't lost the game in almost 3 years.
14 games. That's correct. Columbia, what they do they're 2-2. They played North Pike, which I'm not sure what they did there, but Columbia, they lost to D'Iberville that first week. Of course, they have their new coach, Lance Pogue, who coached South Panola all those years. But I digress. Finished the schedule. Bay Tigers at Presbyterian Christian, and then the region games start Poplarville at Moss Point, Greene County at Pass Christian, 3A St. Patrick at Perry Central, and 1A is Selman at Resurrection. So 13 games and 9 teams are off on the coast. So really, as far as a coast game, I mean, you have Stone playing their first home game. Gaucher's at home. D'Iberville's at home. Moss Point's at home. Pass Christian's at home. Resurrection. Well, I wonder where Resurrection's going to play at. Don't they play? They probably play Pascagoula Stadium because they don't have a stadium. I thought they played in Gaucher.
They alternate with Gaucher.
Right.
So they'll have, because
Yeah,
Pascagoula, again, you have 9 teams that are off next week. So Pascagoula is one of them. But you have Gulfport, Ocean Springs, Biloxi, St. Martin, Pearl River Central, Pascagoula, West Harrison, East Central, and Van Cleve. 9 teams are off.
I wonder why they did that. I guess
To get ready for region play is for
might be the reason
because that's
why
when they
did that.
start the region play, and that's next level stuff. Your team's tied for first right now, Boz. Your team is tied for first with St. Martin. With all the other teams, you're all 0-0. So
0
you know, so that's the way you got to look at it. That's when these games count. That's why these non-region games are so hard to pick, especially the teams not from the coast, where I got to look up so much stuff. But I do it because I like it. So
right,
you know, it is what it is there. But yeah, I'll have the stats for tomorrow that stat that, and like I said, the top 10 will be coming out Tuesday, and you know, just a crazy odd night tonight again with PRC. You know, with Coach Feaster stopping their losing streak. You know, that's what I said they were going to do it tonight. We had Jeff Lossett on that calls PRC games. I said, hey, I have y'all winning tonight, just like I had St. Martin stopping their streak, and I had Long Beach stopping their streak. It just, you know, I don't pick them every week and say, oh, they're going to stop. No, I haven't picked PRC at all in a while, not this year at least, until tonight. And I just felt, you know, that they were on it, and they did. They won. I mean, 56 to what was it? 56 to 35.
35. I think I saw it.
Yeah.
So you felt it in your soul, huh, Matt?
I did. I felt also that Biloxi may beat Pascagoula. When I said Pascagoula is the real deal.
When you were saying that today, I was like, what is he seeing? Because Pascagoula got one of the top scoring offenses in the state, and Biloxi it can't find the end zone. They only been in the end zone one time this season.
No, they went against George County. That's the most points they put up on George County, 33.
That was a lot of defense. That was a lot of defensive points too. They were picking up like fumbles and taking them, you know.
But no, part of it though, Bingo, was the week before. Part of the decision that I made was that they held Hattiesburg to 12 points. Yeah. So I know it's on the road at Pascagoula. Pascagoula lost Parnell. Not saying one you can see one player could make a difference, as in Deuce, but that was my thing. I'm not going against Pascagoula next. They're winning next week. They're off, but I'm picking them to win. So, but that's just.
So Matt, you think Gula gonna take the region this year?
The only thing now. Chance. But now that I'm thinking about it, because I was listening to the broadcast, and Harold, that's his name, Harold, right? I was gonna but he said, of course, they're off next week, but I want to say, and I'm confirming, they're at Picayune. So that's 2 weeks to and Picayune plays next week at Petal. So Pascagoula has 2 weeks to prepare for Picayune at Picayune. So I say I'm not going to pick against Pascagoula, which I still may not. I still think they may get it done, and they may want me to pick against them. But right now, I may lean Pascagoula at Picayune in 2 weeks on October 11th for the first region game. But Pascagoula, I just don't. That's why I was thinking Biloxi was gonna win, just like the week before. I thought D'Iberville was gonna go in there and lean on them and, you know, take them for their homecoming. I was wrong there. I was wrong this week. I was wrong in them against Gaucher. What's the deal with Pascagoula? I can't get them down, but you know, they got the win there tonight over Biloxi, and again Picayune coming out 38-35 with their win.
Yeah. I've been trying to tell people all like before the season started, I said Pascagoula gonna be good this year, man. Like if I'm telling you that, if I tell you a duck can pull a truck, you need to hook that, you need to hook it up, because I'm telling you something I know it for a reason. I'm telling you, I watched them boys all.
Yes, I understand. Like I said, I like Pascagoula. I like the solid quarter. They got Axon Jackson. I mean, they got some good players on both. They got a pretty decent left-footed kicker. So I mean, I think they can they can right now. I don't know what I'm going to pick going into Picayune, but I may lean. Picayune playing next week, so maybe they'll wear them out. I don't know. And Pascagoula having again 2 weeks to plan for this game plan and get them go. Coach Sims, the longest tenured coach on the coast, will have the Panthers ready there. So. Yes, that was a good win there for them. And again, Picayune at Osha Springs with that win. Osha Springs, they're off next week, and they're just trying to.
Osha Springs did win.
No, Osha Springs lost.
Oh wow! Did Picayune play Brandon early this year?
Yeah, they're playing the first game of the year.
Yeah, it was like 63-40 or something like that.
It was embarrassing.
It was they're not the same Picayune as the seasons past. They're still good. I still expect them. They're going to make the playoffs.
They're still good. Yeah, like I told Coach Bramlett that today, man. I said, Coach,
and he's gone.
Oh, he's breaking up. Man, Picayune always gonna be Picayune. That's why I see why Matt is hesitant on picking that game. Like,
I know.
They're still a championship culture team, so like
they are, and they're playing at Picayune.
They're playing hard teams right now. They kind of. Who had the hardest schedule? Was it Osha Springs or Picayune? What do you think?
It was Osha Springs. At least that's what we at us Coast Football said.
Mm-hmm.
It was Osha Springs. I mean, Picayune, had versus Brandon. They had North Shore, Louisiana, which they shut out 35-0. D'Iberville beat them. I'm sorry, they beat D'Iberville. They came back and beat D'Iberville. Then Gulfport went in there and beat them. So again, Gulfport before tonight was 3-1. D'Iberville, it played pretty good ball. So I mean, Picayune had a decent, tough schedule, but Osha Springs has the toughest schedule when they had Madison Central, Oak Grove, taking the steps back. I don't know what they did tonight, and Northwest Rankin. Those are three teams, that they lost to. Is Osha Springs, and they beat Natchez. So they've had the toughest schedule in Osha Springs. But Chapa and them, they did pretty good, getting the ball. They came back. I mean, they were down late, and they got it within the field goal and couldn't stop them on fourth down. So it was Picayune getting the win. That's their 17th straight regular season win. Where's the party?
I'm in at Waffle House.
He's in Waffle House.
It look like it. Nah, he ain't in no Waffle House.
No, he's at it.
You have a good night, love.
He at a store. He at a convenience store.
Okay.
Man, how far are you out till you get home, Bingo?
He's staying the night and just going to Hattiesburg next week. He'll stay the week up.
I don't think he can hear us.
I guess he can't hear us.
Yeah.
He was jamming out to that music there at Wayne County for that pregame stuff. He can't hear us.
Nah, he can't. He can't.
He's not
he
muted.
Don't even know. He don't even know that he live. He look at him. He looking. He look like he's trying to figure out how to get on there. He must can't see himself.
I don't know, but it was a good win for George County there at Wayne. And they've tried 6 other times. This was their 7th game at Wayne County, and they finally did get
finally pulled it off,
the win there. So that was a good win. But yeah, region games start next week, and it's just that's when it gets real. I mean, to get it done. I don't necessarily like the fact that they. Bingo, can you hear us? No. Oh, he's putting up the comments. He's putting up the comments on the screen.
Doing.
I'll say it. Yeah, with Pasca, and then of course Brian Higginbotham saying they're gonna beat Picayune. I'm leaning again. It's 2 weeks for me to decide. I got to look at next week's games to get me back on track there after a hot start that I had. I'm still at 69%, 68%. But yeah, I was disappointed tonight in my predictions. There was some toss-ups. East Central. I don't know about that. I mean, St. Martin. On the finally snapped their. Finally snapped their 12-game losing streak. road losing streak. That is St. Martin.
Good.
And East Central won last week, so I figure, hey, East Central's at home. They got the momentum. They're feeling good. St. Martin, hasn't won on the road. And they got shut out the other week against Petal, I believe, and East Central, they lose. East Central was winning 7-0 at halftime. They lost 15-7. So I got that 6 points. I said East Central will win by 6, but they actually lost by 8 there. So. Oh, well. And then, like I said, Van Cleve getting the win 3 games in a row now, at Hancock.
Van Cleve got hot, man.
So, and then they say with Jason Phillips, and if they beat Goshen, if they go deep in the playoffs, we have to bring Jason to have his own show on there, have an hour show. But the Bulldogs are getting it done. I mean, they are off. They're off next week, and then that's when they say they'll host Goshen in 2 weeks. So that'll be interesting there. Again, if I had to pick right now, I would lean toward Goshen. Of course, if Bingo was on here, Bingo has already said they're going to put up 50, but that's what he always says. So I don't know who's in our Bingo's, and he can come in. Or
there you go. I think he can hear us.
Oh, because I added him on there, but he usually can add himself. Can you hear us, Bingo? I guess he still may not. Who knows? But yeah, Jason is on there. He was on the show earlier. Appreciate him being there. It's tearing that competition, and here comes district play. Like I said, they've lost 7. I think I wrote down 7 straight times they've lost to Goshen, and that's who they'll play in 2 weeks. They'll host Goshen. Big 5-7, as they say, off the Big 57 exit is where Van Cleve is. It's not at the Swamp. So, and Goshen will play next week. So Van Cleve, while they're sitting resting, getting prepared 2 weeks, then they'll be able to watch Goshen game, as they host Columbia. And then I wouldn't be surprised if they were there watching that game at Goshen. I mean, why not? Go there and watch your competition, who you're going to play the following week. So
I think they got to have to contain Mr. Trey Irvin. They got to contain him for them to have a chance and give the ball to Hunter Harper behind that old line. Hunter Harper is just – he's been making a big presence in the last 3 weeks in that 3-game winning streak, which is real good. So, they have other players as well, of course. But he's really been
and I don't know if the running back is going to be coming back. I thought he may be coming back for Goshen for
Solo. I don't know how severe his injury was, but
I know that's his
nickname. He was in the cast. Yeah, Solomon Baggett.
Yeah, I know I was letting the fans know because I did watch that podcast with that guy I talked to Bingo with earlier, the Bricks podcast, and that's what
exactly.
I go. What do you go by? It was Solo. So that's I know the name. So yes, and would you say I interrupt you, Boz? Is he expected back for that game?
I'm not sure. I don't know how severe his injury was, but I just know he was in that boot for a while. So. And anytime you're in a boot, that's minimum at least 4 to 6 weeks. So
yes,
I saw him hurt his ankle. That was bad, though.
He said he jumped up. He described it in that podcast. I have it on my timeline at Coast Football. It's a good podcast, and yes, he said it was going between. He flipped over 2 guys and landed wrong, and it's the other leg. Last year he hurt his other leg, so it's unfortunate, man. It's just unfortunate. He had over 1,600 yards, I believe he said, rushing, and. He's looking to get 1,000 yards this year when he comes back. So
he's probably going to do it too if he stays.
He's the next. Yes, he's a game changer, and if they have him against Van Cleve, man, that's going to be something there for Goshen. Goshen back-to-back South State championship games. They're 0-2, unfortunately, but the first time they've been there, and they've been back-to-back now. So, they hopefully they'll get back there, or at least the team. I don't favor necessarily anybody. As long as the coast team gets to the state championship game, I'm happy. So, be it Goshen, be it Van Cleve, as long as it's not Laurel, who's not from the coast, and they're struggling this year. Laurel is, so
they are.
But yeah, what time? 11:33. So I know we're reaching almost 100 views, and those on replay. Appreciate on the replay to share it, and I guess we're going to be signing off here. I mean, the adrenaline, I know you may not have adrenaline because unfortunately all 4 losing, but seeing, watching 4 or 5 games from Osha Springs to Pascagoula. Pascagoula wasn't a great game. Osha Springs was a good game. Gulfport I had on there. then PRC Bay High was actually streaming their game, and I was watching some plays there. PRC, I was like, man, they're going to win. They finally pulled away, and so I mean, that's how I am after the game. It's like, man, watching these games and hyped
it's
up.
Exciting.
It is, because I don't have one team. I have all 24 teams. Some of them win, some of them have to lose. So
yeah,
but we all wins as fans, and glad everybody can join us here tonight, and again on the replay. And I'll get out the stat that tomorrow and share the highlights from the local news sources, WXXV, WLOX, and put it on the Facebook page at Gulf Coast High School Football. And Boz, I heard you on the podcast, 228 podcast. That was a good podcast. I know I was there 2 weeks ago, and then Bingo was in the middle of it. So, 228 and Bruce Thornton, I had him on the pregame show up there at George County. So glad he joined us. And again, Jeff Lawson for PRC. I said, hey, bring PRC. I reached out to Clay Sweet with Talking Ball, y'all, and download that app there. But I told Lawson, I said, hey, we need to get Coach Feaster on, especially after they win tonight. So, of course, we couldn't get him on tonight. But a great win for them. So everybody that helps shine the light on the coast, including Smackham. I posted pinned it on my page because you come out with the stats, and I certainly appreciate that, because I don't have Max Preps is not going to have it because unfortunately teams don't load it on there,
right?
The stats, so I don't have the stats. But to see the stats, I went over them pregame, and they can see it on the Facebook page. So I appreciate Smackham Athletics, which you're them, and follow you on social media and everywhere else. So any final words you want to say there, Boss?
Man, it was good to get on the show tonight. I've been missing in action, but I'm about to start getting back on here, man, with you guys, man. It's always fun, man. So I'll see y'all next time. And you gotta do the final sign off.
I don't know. I'm gonna push. The sign off. I'm gonna say stats. I say stats out.
There you go.
The Gulf Coast broadcast there on the live stream radio. Whenever Wayne says keep it between the whatever he says, and I try to stats out. So I'm going. So certainly appreciate it, and glad you're back. Just that belt. We had the clips from last year. We won't show any, but where you had the belt when Gulfport went, hey, you should pound the chest, Gulfport. And I still think, they got something to say about the district, and we'll see here in 2 weeks as they go to Biloxi. But we're going to end it tonight, and everybody be safe, drive home safe back. Bingo as he come back, and everybody have a great night. As Bingo stats, he's posting on it. He's posting as he goes. Well, you can't see it right there. But
I see.
Yeah, he don't want to make his picks. So.
Man.
All right, Boz. We'll catch up with you and catch up with everybody out. So have a great night.
Fun. You too.
Yes, sir. Stats out.